crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir. RoadToRoo.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. Yes, I'm having coffee. Oh, so good. So good. I want to go over quickly. I update my bailout count every day. Every day they bail out the banks, which is basically every day. On the private road, here's where we are right now for everybody in the world. These are Fed bailouts as of yesterday, May 12th. I think that is correct. Yes, May 12th. We are at $3.5 trillion of basically stealth bank bailouts. Started with repo, then permanent operations. They are kicking it into high gear. I said all along, it's not going to take $700 billion like last time. It's going to take $20 trillion. They're going to have to go to Congress for $20 trillion is what I was saying. They are doing it stealthily because they can do whatever they want, right? The Fed can do whatever they want. Is the Fed controlled by the U.S. Treasury now? Yes and no. They've worked together all along. It is no secret that the U.S. Federal Reserve System and the U.S. Treasury work together. The whole concept of the independent Fed was all bullshit all along. And they work with Congress as well. Fed knows that Congress can take away the power in a blink of an eye. Congress is bought and paid for, so they're not going to. They all have been working together for a very long time. Off and on, it might look like it's separate, but it's not. It never has been. Just keep that straight. And Federal Reserve notes are not U.S. Treasury notes. Keep that straight as well. The Fed can create as many of these things as they want. They don't have to tell you or me or anybody how many they create, nor does, the U.S. government might have to, but they don't. They don't need to. They say, hey, Fed, we need another $4 trillion for the secret space program this year. Can you set that up? And they do it behind the scenes. They don't tell any country. They don't tell anybody. It's all ridiculous. It is a game. It is a false facade. The unbacked fiat monetary system is 100% based on full faith and credit of the United States. That's it. Do you have faith in the United States? Do you have faith in the United States credit? No. So what? What are your options? You can get physical metal and put it in your pocket and wait for the day they stop rigging it. You can get cryptos and take them home with you. Absolutely. Physical cryptos. What's a physical crypto? A paper wallet with a crypto on it. The only one in the world. That type of thing. So yes, it is 100% faith-based system. And do we trust human beings? No. Do we trust politicians? Are you kidding me? Do we trust the Federal Reserve? No. Do we trust the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin? No. Faith-based. So here's where we are. Since September 11th of 2019, yes, it started on September 11th, they have given the banks $3.5 trillion. And it's not enough. I'm telling you right now, it is not enough. They're going to have to ramp it up really fast. And it started, look at this ramp right here, starting it right at the end of the first quarter. Bang. From under $1 trillion to over $3.5 trillion. Wait till next quarter. Probably double that. And we know this. Pelosi urges Congress to go big on next virus aid bill package. This doesn't even count what Congress is printing. Let me say that again. This doesn't count what Congress is doing. Congress wants another $3 trillion. I'm not so sure they'll get it this time. Pelosi's put together a bill that has every Democratic wet dream in it. And they're calling it the Heroes Bill, and you have to do it. What's more important, feeding the people or balancing the budget? Ultimately, they always approve massive amounts of money. But here we go. Speaker Nancy Pelosi is poised to unveil the next coronavirus aid package, encouraging Congress to go big on aid to help cash-strapped states, struggling Americans. Voting is possible as soon as Friday. But the bill is headed straight for a Senate roadblock. Senate Majority Republicans said Monday They are not planning to vote on any new relief till June. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said there's no urgency to the act. Let's get on with it, Pelosi said. Quote, this is classic. To those who would suggest a pause, I would say the hunger doesn't take a pause. Rent doesn't take a pause, she said. We have a big need. It's monumental. Well, then open up the country and let people go back to work. Your pandemic is done. Everybody can see through it, hopefully. Well, no, Democrats have this democratic fog in front of their eyes. Now, not all Democrats. I got a lot of Democratic friends. I live in Northern California. They're starting to wake up, and it's beautiful to see. The insanity of the lockdown is becoming a reality. A reality. And don't forget, here's the latest. LA County likely to extend stay-at-home orders for another 3 months. This is a classic lefty ridiculous move. Safer-at-home orders will remain in place for the next few months, health director says, but the county will continue to gradually ease restrictions. Look at this person who made this decision. Does she look like someone who's out there really working for a living? Had built her own job, built her own business. Does it matter to her and her employees? How many layoffs have there been in the federal government? Zero. It's the private enterprises that are having to lay people off and shut their business. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. As a matter of fact, she probably loves that things are shut down for 3 months. If she had her way, we'd shut them down for 3 years. Let's put everybody in a little bubble, pipe in some air and some vaccine juice, and yeah, you'll live longer. Your brain would be warped from the vaccine juice, but hey, do you want to live like the boy in the bubble? No, that's no life. It'd be good for her. She gets power and money and fame. Doesn't she look like she wants fame? This is like 90% of the people in Berkeley look exactly like that. I'm kidding. God, don't go off on me. All right, let's talk about the next thing, silver. All of you buying silver right now, congratulations. You're going to be one happy dude or dudette come the very moment that the COMEX shuts down. That's all that has to happen. COMEX is a ridiculous joke. The regulators are a ridiculous joke. And I hope everybody knows that by now. We are at 110 to 1 gold-silver ratio, highest ever. It spiked to 120, 110 to 1. That is insane. If you own gold, why? Owning gold means you just don't understand what precious metals are. Why do I say that? Because silver's a precious metal too. You don't even know what a monetary metal is. Silver's been a monetary metal a hell of a lot more than gold has been in history. And you can get, well, you can't get 110. I don't know. You could probably get 80 or 90 ounces of silver for every ounce of gold you own. Because these numbers are fake. Yes, there is silver available. If you don't have a silver dealer locally, start local. Start local. Go to your local coin shop and say, hey, and shop 2 of them because they're all slimy. I love you guys, by the way. But you got to shop them between each other. Hey, Joe's Coins down the street says he can get me silver eagles at $20. Can you get me silver eagles at $20? And he'll say yes or no. And you go back to Joe's Coin. Hey, Fred's Silver Eagle Emporium says he can get me silver for $19.50. Can you get me silver for $19.50? I don't know what the price of eagles are right now. I hear they're still in very short demand. Say $25. Can you get me silver for $25? Crazy. But if you don't want to do that or you don't have a local, send my friend Andy Scheckman an email. Andy@milesfranklin.com. He said, Bix, I promise you I'll take care of all your Road to Ruta followers. So everybody's been flocking to him. He's got inventory back in, at least right now. Make sure you get the stuff he can ship right away. It's so key right now. You never know when the system's going to fall apart. Get what they can ship right away. If they say, oh, yeah, I'll get you your silver in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they don't know if they're going to get their silver. Even if it's on order directly from the mint, they don't know. If they have it in inventory, buy it. Buy it. Again, Andy@milesfranklin.com. Here's why silver is not moving at all-time lows compared to gold. Because of banking cabal, a group of bankers, got together in 1913 to rig the markets, and they continue to rig to this day. JP Morgan has been the big silver rigger for the past 10 years, but they are leaving the silver rigging. As a matter of fact, they are now long on physical over 1 billion ounces of silver, over 1 billion ounces of physical silver in their possession of this criminal bank. 1 billion ounces. Put that in context. Buffett had 120, 130 million at the end of 1999 in that area. The Hunt brothers had about 110 million ounces. Remember the Hunt brothers were busted for cornering the silver market? JP Morgan has over 1 billion. What's changed, Department of Justice? Well, CFTC. This is what changed. Oops, where is that? What changed is JP Morgan's role in metal spoofing is under criminal probe. Not the 6 traders who are being indicted for RICO charges, which is racketeering charges, all from JP Morgan and other banks. But the company itself, the largest bank in the world, is under criminal probe by the Department of Justice. Why are they even allowed to participate in rigging of silver markets? Still. Why are they allowed to be the number 1 trader in silver at all times? Now, I said, every silver short holder has been destroyed. JP Morgan got in, was a huge silver short for 10 years, and now they're long on the COMEX. Long silver contracts. According to Ted Butler, absolutely. Ted only uses the information supplied by the COMEX. COMEX data that is given the okay by the CFTC, the regulator, the criminal regulator. So where does that leave us? JP Morgan's got to get rid of this silver short, and they have, I believe. I think they're passing it to 2 banks. If you look at the OCC data, Office of Comptroller of Currencies, it shows pretty much JP Morgan has not left the paper markets at all. As a matter of fact, it's growing beyond belief in silver, even with low prices. The dollar amount is growing even though prices are so low. That means that massive amounts of silver derivatives are held by JP Morgan as well. But the other big counterparty in the U.S. is Citibank. Citibank's number 2, with about 1/3 or 1/4 of what JP Morgan has on the derivative side. Now, Citi, I don't think is playing the physical game, so they're in a little bit of trouble. Who are the others? Probably, most likely, HSBC, Deutsche Bank. And who's going to take over the short position? Probably BlackRock. They don't have to report anything. Crazy, huh? Get your physical silver, get it in your own possession. If you have gold, silver mining companies, forget it. Those are paper contract derivatives. If you have ETFs, you're crazy. Sell them and get the real thing. If you have gold, sell it or swap it for silver. There's so many gold mines out there. I've just been watching a special on, I think it's the History Channel, about a hunt for gold. And they're hunting for Yamashita's gold, or Yamashita as they call it. Yamashita's gold. And they're saying, oh my God, I found this guy. It's so amazing. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Just read the book Gold Warriors. You'll fully understand everything. But it looks like, at least the episode I'm on, it looks like they found one of the caves. I don't know if there's still gold in it. There's 180 secret burial spots of gold, all booby-trapped in the Philippines. The estimate, from what I can gather from Gold Warriors by Sterling and Peggy Seagrave that spent their life researching this stuff, with all the documentation, by the way, is 300,000 tons. Wait a minute, Bix. That doesn't make sense. Jeffrey Christian told me there's only 200,000 tons of gold that's ever been mined. I know what Jeffrey Christian told you. He's also the guy that helped invent gold derivatives. With Robert Rubin, they went around from central bank to central bank in the late 1990s, having all the central banks lease their gold and take the physical gold and suppress the price. Jeffrey Christian is a criminal and belongs in jail for various reasons. His toupee, probably the number one. All right, moving on. And now JP Morgan's getting into, of course, cryptos. After shitting on for so long, secretly trying to load up, Jamie Dimon is the worst at telegraphing his trades. Anyway, JP Morgan is now banking for Bitcoin exchanges Coinbase and Gemini. Of course, cryptos are the future of everything. Even though Jamie Dimon has been telling us for 10 years, I'd fire anybody who even talked about crypto. They have a huge crypto division, hundreds of people working for them, hundreds of traders out there rigging the price, pulling out all the cryptos into their own private JP Morgan wallets, probably sitting right next to their silver stacks. Probably have mining farms. It's a lie. The whole thing's a freaking lie. They belong in jail. All the senior management and the board of directors. First of all, why didn't they go to jail for the Bernie Madoff bullshit? JP Morgan was the only banker for Bernie Madoff. $50 billion Ponzi. How is that possible? Know your customer is stricter now, but it was strict back then too. Jamie Dimon, the board of directors belong in jail. They knew everything. And senior management. If you're a director at JP Morgan, you should be liable. Anyway, we move on. Crypto's doing all right after the halving. Remember what happens, year or two after the halving? That's when the big spike happens in cryptos. We have passed the halving, and we're looking for the 10x move. At least. A lot of people saying 250,000. I'm thinking probably 80 to 100,000 before the first really big pullback. Unless we have a crash in the monetary system, then all bets are off. Then all the exchanges shut down, and you just wish you had taken your cryptos off the exchanges and into your own possession. Because that's the future of cryptos is not with these exchanges. It's what happens after the decentralized exchanges, the Veritasium exchanges, stuff like that. Anyway, yep, Bitcoin's doing all right. Again, Steve Mnuchin can click a mouse and drive the Bitcoin price to $0 or $1 million overnight. So can a lot of different entities. The good guys and bad guys, I think, at some point will both click their mouse at the same time, wanting it to go which direction. And boom, all the exchanges and price discovery ends as the computers freeze up. That's the future I see. And it could happen any day. So make sure you have your own cryptos in your own possession. And then let's talk about oil quickly. It looks like oil's going to pass the 19th intact, but you never know. WTI spikes after surprise crude draw production plunge. All these headlines are developed to get the traders, the financial traders of oil, to go one way or the other. It's insane. It is absolutely insane what goes on in the market rigging. But we knew it. Remember when Trump last month said, hey, I'm going to get Steve Mnuchin to take care of the oil markets. U.S. could store another several hundred million barrels of oil, says Steve Mnuchin. This guy is literally, he was head of computer market rigging at Goldman Sachs. What does he do at the U.S. Treasury? He walks downstairs of the U.S. Treasury into the basement where they have a computer trading floor. He clicks a mouse, and then he goes on TV, say, hey, everything's under control. The U.S. Oil price is stabilizing. That's because you're rigging it every day. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said his administration will soon release a plan to help U.S. oil companies. The number one plan is to rig the electronic markets, which Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said could include adding millions of barrels of oil to the already teeming national reserves. It's 90% full. We are also exploring potentially having the ability to store another several hundred million barrels. So we're looking at lots of different options. Basically saying, hey, we're not going to have a problem come the 19th, and it looks like we're not going to, possibly. Price of oil is at $25, but this is the more important thing. How many open contracts coming into the 19th? I think that's 5 more days, and we're at 154,000 contracts. It's just 154 million barrels. Can they get rid of that in 5 days? Yeah. Yesterday, the open interest dropped 35 million barrels. Could something happen to surprise to the upside or downside come next week? Absolutely also. Who knows where they're going to go, but that's the key. You can't be in the market because you don't know. There's no such thing as fair market value of anything anymore because it's all rigged on computers. It's all rigged. When have you heard me say that before? Okay. Theta, yes, Theta's been moving. Very exciting moves for Theta. It has only just begun, as the Carpenters. Was it the Carpenters or Helen Reddy? It's only just begun. I posted a Theta update to the private road members and Patreon Plus, kind of going through some information about Theta, why it's important, where to trade it, things like that. Yeah, it's going to be a monster, but it's one you want to hang on to. Remember, all cryptos can be put anywhere they want. So yes, a doubling of Theta in the last couple of weeks has been big. It's excited a lot of people. And what happens when the price go up? That's when people want to get in. I know it's backwards. You're supposed to buy low and sell high. I don't think Theta's high at all. They got mainnet releasing in mainnet 2.0 releasing in a couple weeks. And yes, we're going to be using Theta in the Internet of Things. And you're going to have a smart TV that's literally mining Theta fuel with a Guardian node and using bandwidth to stream videos for other people if you want to earn Theta fuel. It's really cool concept, and I do think Samsung and other big, shall we say, entertainment and broadband companies are going to be using Theta. It's not just Samsung that's in there. It's also Sony and some of the huge monster tech companies. And it's still under the radar. Absolutely. It's moved up from 50 to 40 in the past couple of weeks. I think it should be in the top 20 again today, which is like probably 10x move from here. And then it will be in the top 10, potentially, as the world adopts a new form of broadband and streaming, which is obviously the future. Movies, going out to movies is over. So we're going to need the capacity. And Theta solves a gigantic problem. If you want to get a Theta token and you don't know what you're doing, hit subscribe today. You can join the private road. I'm giving 100 Theta and 100 Theta fuel away on paper wallets, mailed to your front door. This is for a 1-year subscription to Road to Ruta. You also get the coolest silver coin ever. And the Road to Ruta membership can pay for itself over the years. And I was giving away a 1/10 of a Bitcoin at one, way back when. So yeah, a 1/10 of a Bitcoin today is what, $900. No, plus the Bitcoin cash, probably 950, maybe $1,000 with all the other stuff. So yes, crypto hodlers love Road to Ruta. I think Theta, Michelle Whitedove has it going over $1,000. Do I believe America's #1 psychic? On a lot of things, I do. She's been nailing a lot of things. Anyway, oh, by the way, Michelle Whitedove has a new report out. Go to her website, her blog, and you can buy that report. It's awesome. It is really good. Michelle is amazing. And reports are amazing. Great Patreon channel, Michelle Whitedove. Look her up. Do a search for Michelle Whitedove, and you will find Michelle Whitedove. Yeah, she was ranked #1 psychic. She won a big contest. I don't know if it was just in the U.S., but around the world. But she's amazing. Amazing woman. I've talked to her a couple times. Just so insightful. So, yeah, buy the new report. It's got all the cryptos you want and a lot of other stuff. Really cool. All right, that's it for me on the Road to Ruta. You guys take care, and we will talk to you very soon. I'm going to post something else later today about the spiritual wars we're in. Remember who's going to win this battle. The battle between the good guys and bad guys is not just you and me fighting the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Federal Reserve. It is happening on many different levels. You might think, as a human, what can I do to fight the bankster? You might think, oh, what can we do to fight the Rothschilds? You might think, oh, what can we do to fight the aliens? This is not only a terrestrial war. It's not only a war in the heavens. This is a war with our souls and our spirits and ultimately our God. So yes, my soul can kick ass to anything below the soul level, such as the aliens, such as the Rothschilds, such as the banksters. such as all the bad guys out there. Yes, my soul can kick their ass. We are eternal. So all these battles that we're taking right now, remember, in the long run, you can look back at this from a different perspective and say, boy, that was a fun video game I played on planet Earth. The good guys versus the bad guys. If I only really understood the power that I had individually and as a soul collective, we would know we could take out anything. Good always triumphs over evil, and there's a reason that God or Allah or whoever you think, the one, the source, there's a reason that it was set up that way. So I'm really excited about fighting anybody that comes my way. I have a very powerful soul, and so do you. If you recognize that that's the true essence of who you are. And we can all win this battle together. And I'll be talking about that later today. This is Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. I will talk to you later.